Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Larry LaRocque, your presenter. In our top stories, Police Force receives fingerprinting equipment. Trinidad and Tobago Chief Justice under fire. Mandela Memorial, Obama praises giant of history. And in sports, we have the schedule of football matches for this week. Details of these will follow. SAT Telecommunications Limited is in the process of reorganizing our channels. In this endeavor, some channels will be off temporary and new ones will be introduced. SAT Telecommunications Limited is pleased to inform you of a number of new channels. We have just added for your viewing pleasure Lifetime Movie Channel, Lifetime Real Women, Discovery Civilization, Discovery Science, Discovery Turbo, and many other new ones to come. We are sure that you will enjoy the new programming, which will enhance your viewing pleasure and provide you with many more channels. SAT Telecoms thanks you for your continuous support and understanding throughout this initiative, and we will keep you informed as the changes occur. Welcome back. In celebrating its 30th anniversary, the PBCG, the Peebush Cultural Group, has planned a series of activities to begin from December 11th to 31st, 2013. According to member of the group, Mr. Wallace Williams, the program will highlight the impact of culture, traditions, community togetherness, spiritual and family values, and the work of the Peebush Cultural Group on the Peebush community, the wider Dominican society, and potential for further growth and development.
We also want to use this opportunity to stimulate community interest and heritage tourism, as well as launching community projects, including a herbal garden to preserve the indigenous knowledge of our herbal remedies, as well as mobilizing fundraising activities to sustain the group's programs and all of it. And by that, we've had a lineup of activities where we begin on Wednesday, 11th, looking at the actual launching of this 30 years anniversary celebration under the theme celebrating culture, Christ, and Christmas. So in short, we have 40 CCCC, celebrating Christ, culture, and Christmas.
Following the opening will be the hosting of the Cultural Tourism Symposium. Friday, December 13th, will host the traditional games and fun with children and youth of the community. On Saturday, December 14th, is the staging of the Peebush Character Show and modeling of the group's costumes, in addition to a hike and photography competition to commemorate World Mountain Day and promote the heritage of the Waitikubuli National Trail Segment 12.
Following that, we have Sunday, a special Thanksgiving Mass, and of course, Christmas caroling on the roadside. We're going to have the Music Lovers Band, as well as the church and other community groups who actually come together to unite in singing carols and sharing the cheer for Christmas. On Wednesday, 18th, we want to move to the meeting where we have the conceptualization of the community garden, tree planting to actually maintain the knowledge of traditional remedies. On the 19th, we want to have a rap session and entertainment. I'm hoping to have the guest Issa Bantan, who will actually promote his music and youth values. We want all young people at this point to actually come and share their experience and their love for music and what it really means to actually produce music that has great value. On Friday, 20th, we're looking at doing a protocol workshop, and of course to end the night with pyjama swimming and fish night, where we actually have a community coming together to celebrate, as well as a means of raising funds.
Sunday 22nd to Monday 23rd is bringing the Christmas cheer, where gifts will be exchanged, stories and indigenous knowledge by elders, including shut-ins, and the community on the initiating research on traditional herbal medicines towards the community herbal garden will take place. Mr. Wallace also spoke on the group's survival.
Honestly, I think he has gone through a serious commitment, because most of the members of the cultural group are employed, and it's a challenge to actually juggle around for practices and all of that, and to go to perform and do a show on call. And I think is the passion and the level of commitment that is within us that we actually make time to practice when need be and all of that. And of course, the natural talent with us, it comes out pretty easy to actually match up to the task at hand in terms of performing.
He said the youth is actively involved in the group with an age range of 18 to 30, but still invites more to join for the group's survival. In more news, the government of Dominica declared Tuesday, December 10, 2013, a national day of mourning as a respect for the late Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa. The Dominican flag was flown at half-staff on all public buildings in the state as a result. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has described the late Nelson Mandela as possibly the world's greatest leader. He said the death of Mr. Mandela was saddening as he inspired several generations, adding Mandela's legacy will certainly live on among South Africans and people across the world. Mr. Mandela was instrumental in unifying South Africa following decades of white minority rule. Following his single term as president, he went on to be one of the world's leading statesmen. He died at the age of 95 after ailing for some time. In other stories, evangelist Peter R. Augustine has been awarded for over 50 years of ministry. He is the president of the Hour of Preparation Ministries, which is the umbrella organization for the prison ministry, the Hour of Prayer broadcast, and the Hour of Preparation radio broadcast, founded in 1981, yet both locally and regionally, among others. Speaking at the annual dinner and award ceremony of the Hilltop Singers local gospel band, Mr. Augustine said one of the greatest joys in his life is to see men and women give their lives to God.
And many of us do not seem to appreciate the beauty of our land and the heritage that we have as Dominicans. Some of us live Dominica and we only criticize this country. But I thank God for Dominica. And I thank God that I am a citizen of this nation. Hallelujah. But I thank God for the life that He's given to me and the awesome privilege that God gave to me, so unworthy and so unprofitable. Yet God called me into the marvelous ministry of calling men and women to be reconciled to their God.
Evangelist Augustine is also an active member of the People's Pentecostal Family Church and gives leadership to the National Men's Fellowship of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies. His recent accomplishments include being the author of 3 publications in English and French languages, with a 4th in its editing stages. On November 3, 2005, Peter R. Augustine was the recipient of the Medal of Honor from the Government of Dominica for his outstanding work as a school teacher and his tireless efforts in the field of evangelism. In recognition of his extensive travels in the field of evangelism, and in the view of the fact that in the process he showcases Dominica, his island home, Peter was issued a diplomatic passport as a Goodwill Ambassador. In more news, today marked a very important milestone in the history of the police force when many gathered to witness the official handing over of the Automated Fingerprint Identification System, AFIS. AFIS is a process of automatically matching one or many unknown fingerprints against a database of known or unknown prints, primarily used by law enforcement agencies for criminal identification initiatives. The donation was a collaborative effort between the United States and the Commonwealth of Dominica. Mr. Ainsworth Irish, Acting Superintendent of Police, says the police force is very thankful for this donation.
This is a very important tool or equipment which will enhance the capability of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force in terms of detection, prosecution of crimes, and in a scientific way. We are very thankful, I must say, for this highly sophisticated equipment.
Prior to the handing over, the requisite training of officers was conducted when fingerprinting experts came to Dominica to aid in the proper use of AFIS. Chief of Police Mr. Daniel Carbon thanked the government of the United States for what he described as a powerful equipment in the fight against crime.
I must assure you that the police force and by extension the Commonwealth of Dominica and the government of Dominica as well we'll work in partnership with you, the US, to fight crime, regardless of what the crime is, be it drug trafficking, firearms trafficking, human trafficking. We will stand with you in that partnership. And so I'm very happy that we have this system in place here to help us in detecting crime. We have, so far, I'm advised, I've had 12 hits since the implementation of the CNA system.
Deputy Chief of Missions of the U.S. Embassy, Mr. Christopher Sandrolini, made note of the United States' continued patronage to the islands of the Caribbean.
Over the last 2 years, the United States has worked hand in hand with our Caribbean partners to get to this day. The Department of State in the United States, within the Department of State, the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, and our Diplomatic Anti-Terrorism Assistance Program, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, have worked closely with their counterparts in Dominica. We have handed over similar systems in St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The AFIS system is already in full operation at the police stations in Portsmouth and Marigot. In other stories, the government of Dominica has afforded former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, His Excellency the late Vernon Lorden Shaw, a state funeral to be held on Saturday, December 14, 2013. The government also declared a period of mourning from Wednesday, December 11, 2013 to Saturday, December 14, 2013 as a mark of respect for the late Mr. Shaw. The Dominican flag shall be flown at half-staff at all public buildings of the state during the period of mourning. Vernon Lorden Shaw, DAH, served as President of the Commonwealth of Dominica from October 6, 1998 to October 1, 2003, after a distinguished career in the public service. He is survived by his wife Eudora and his 4 children. His Excellency President Charles Savre and Mrs. Savre, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister, and other cabinet ministers, Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, Speaker of the House, and other members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and other government officials are expected to attend the state funeral. Public viewing will be from 2 p.m. at the Portsmouth Methodist Church Hall on Saturday, December 14, 2013, followed by the funeral service at 3 p.m. at the Mount Wallace Methodist Church. The late Vernon Lorden Shaw will be laid to rest at the Portsmouth Methodist Cemetery. In related stories, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has described His Excellency, the late Vernon Lorden Shaw, as one who had a very distinguished career as a public officer. Mr. Skerrit said that the former president was a wise man who believed in discipline, hard work, and protocol. On behalf of the government and the people of Dominica, Prime Minister Skerrit extends condolences to the family and friends of former President Shaw. The Prime Minister said, at this time of bereavement, our prayers as a people must be with Mr. Shaw's family. His Excellency Vernon Lorden Shaw died on Monday, December 2, 2013 at the Princess Margaret Hospital. In more news, Attorney at Law Ronald Charles says he is ready to serve his constituents of the Roseau Valley to make a change for the better. He made the statement after being nominated as the candidate for the United Workers' Party Roseau Valley Association to represent them for the United Workers' Party UWP at the next general elections.
And I am ready to go through the other phases that would be important. And one of the other phases is that not only the nomination, it doesn't stop here. We now would then have to get the endorsement from the executive of the United Workers' Party and their leadership. After the endorsement, we will then look at the other checks and balances, including the issue of declaration, etc., that we will be looking into. But all in all, I'm happy, and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the many supporters of the Roseau Valley, from Mount Prospect down to Trafalgar, down to Forkany, and up to Loda, across to Cochrane, and not forgetting Wharton Waven. So I am very, very happy, and I look forward to going through the other procedural things and doing the necessary declaration.
He believes he was nominated unanimously as he has been deeply rooted and has contributed to the Roseau Valley from childhood. Mr. Charles revealed that growing up, politics was never a career he thought of venturing into, but the people of the Roseau Valley want him to represent them as they have placed their confidence in him, and he will do so proudly. He added, however, the executive of the UWP has to meet to decide whether or not they would like him to be their official candidate for the Roseau Valley at the next general elections.
It's time that the people of the Roseau Valley, they know me, they have worked with me from Mount Prospect down to Trafalgar. I've always said across to Cochrane, Forkany, and Loda, and all the different communities and Wharton Waven have all worked with me before, and therefore they see the leadership skills in me. They see the potential for me to bring the valley back to where it belongs in terms of a political representation, which I can tell you on the record that if the people believe in me and the process is continuing, but when that process is there and I am the candidate for the Roseau Valley, I can tell you that the Roseau Valley will be a place that no other constituency can compare with.
The attorney said if elected to represent the Roseau Valley at the next general elections, he is very confident that he will be victorious.
The fate of any politician or any person aspiring to, depending on persons, it's always in the hands of the constituents. It's always people who will determine whether or not you are victorious or not. However, your caliber, the person that you are, will help them make that decision. So I'm quite confident that based on the overwhelming support that I have received, and I have been receiving even from overseas, and there are a lot of people from the Roseau Valley that have been communicating with me and congratulating me because they said that they have seen me as a young little boy growing up, and now to see me taking up the extra leadership role, they appreciate that. So that's basically what it is. The people will determine.
He went on to say he is fully confident that the residents of the Roseau Valley will keep supporting him. In other stories, Mr. Cedric Soup, who is a recent winner of the DNL Dominica National Lottery's Big 4 game. Mr. Supu is the biggest winner thus far, winning a sum of $120,000 in the game, officially launched in February 2013.
We are indeed extremely happy that we at the National Lottery can contribute in such large volume of dollars to our winners. It's a clear indication that we continue to deliver at the Dominica National Lottery, and our products are real and our products are tangible. We have seen from inception of the Big 4 game in February of this year, we have paid out the sum of $357,600 up to date. That is not including December's payout, which we'll expect to make larger winners.
As a result of DNL's new Hamram promotion, a representative of the DNL has noted that more participants have been involved in the games. Mr. Suku, in receiving his check, said perseverance and prayer was some of what landed him his big winnings.
It's been a while I've been playing the game, since July, and I had a dream of that number and I kept playing it every day, except for one day when there was a system problem island-wide and I didn't play that night, and I was a bit scared that that night would have been the night it came out, because I always knew it would come out one day. It's just, again, being patient and being, again, saying my little prayers now and then to make sure that it came through. Yeah.
He said he has previously won up to $10,000 partaking in lottery games. The winning ticket was purchased at Carryport Trading. The $120,000 winner advised fellow players to know their budgets. He urged them to take care of their priorities first and then invest what they have left of their winnings. Mr. Linford Joffrey also won $12,000 in Monday's daily free games. In more news, over 200 children won Saturday, December 7th, treated to fun and games at the President Charities Foundation hosted the President's annual Children's Christmas Party at the Pierre Charles Secondary School. The children were from primary schools across Bellevue Chauffeur to Petit Savan and were between the ages 5 to 12. During the party, they played various games including musical chairs while dancing to the song of various Christmas music.
Okay. Okay. This time, we're going a little faster. Okay. Are you ready? Before the music stops, you are out.
The aim of the Christmas party is to enhance the well-being and joy of our less fortunate junior brothers and sisters during the Christmas season. They also receive gifts from Santa Claus. And in court news, Clement Anthony of Woodfordville has been sent to prison after he stole from the Holy Redeemer Retreat House at Egliston on 2 separate occasions. Anthony appeared before Magistrate Candia Judge on Tuesday, December 10, 2013, and pleaded guilty to 2 counts of theft, malicious damage, and giving police false name. On 8 October 2013, Anthony entered the kitchen of the Retreat House and stole a number of grocery items costing $700. The stolen items included 2 cartons of butter, 1 carton of sardine, 20 pounds of passion fruit, 12 loaves of bread, 1 carton of corned beef, and 1 bag of lentils. In the process, Anthony also caused damage to 3 logs valued at $511, which were used to secure the kitchen. On 8 December 2013, he again went to the Retreat House and stole a 60-inch flat-screen television worth $6,546. He placed the television on his head and proceeded to Roseau, laying it on the ground a number of times before he was eventually spotted by police officers at Bath Road in Roseau, who stopped him and inquired where he had gotten the television. According to him, he found the television at a rubbish dump and had taken it for parts. The officers, however, did not buy into Anthony's story and was arrested on suspicion of theft. During the process, he told police his name was Billy from Woodfordville. During the investigation, Anthony was informed of the other incident of theft at the Retreat House, where the grocery items were stolen, and he subsequently admitted to the charge of theft. None of the grocery items were recovered, and the television was partly damaged. In mitigation, he told the court that he had stolen the items, but not the quantity they alleged he had stolen. Before sentencing, Magistrate Judge asked the defendant whether he was aware that the Retreat House was a holy place. She informed him that she was going to send him away for some time to allow him to reflect on his actions. Anthony was sentenced to 2 years in prison for theft of the television, 3 months for malicious damage to the locks, and 4 months for theft of the grocery items. There was no separate penalty for giving police false name. The sentences are to run concurrently. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.